Yo, what is good, YouTube? It's your boy Chisholm. I'm back with another video. And in today's video, we will be reacting to 10 NBA players you didn't know had kids. But before we get into it, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to. But
Bronny James and Shareef O'Neal. Two names that probably sound familiar to many basketball fans. How could they not? Despite still being kids when they're more famous than many actual NBA players. But not all NBA players.
Bronny, when he was on Blue Chip in middle school, that was a whole different Bronny. Like, Bronny now, like, he's alright, but when he was in middle school, he had that killer mentality. Like, I used to watch every single one of Blue Chip games.
Kids have such high public profiles. You probably don't even know that some of them exist. Well, that's going to change today, because we're bringing you 10 NBA players you probably didn't know had children. We've got some wholesome stories, a couple of surprises, and even a soap opera plotline or two in store for you. So let's get into it. Tyler Herro. Tyler Herro so far has been pretty wild. Despite his lack of experience as a rookie, there was no player he feared and no shot he didn't like. But he played pretty well. Unfortunately, Herro checked nearly every box in the immature young player starter pack. Excessive clubbing, dating Instagram models. You get the picture. And Tyler gets a
I hope you're not on child support.
Prior to his third season, however, he made a promise that we would see a much better version of him. Yeah, it's a song and dance we've heard a million times before from players after a bad stretch, but looks like Herro was for real. What many people don't know is the key reason behind Herro's year 3 breakout. Earlier this year, his girlfriend gave birth to a baby girl named Zaya, and Herro says being a father has made
it's
him
a new baby, it's a
mature and
newborn.
focused. His daughter is also an additional source of motivation for him. With the way Herro and the rest of the squad are playing, it looks like Zaya will be able to watch her dad play deep into the playoffs this year.
Nah, I don't think
Irving.
deep into the playoffs. Nah, maybe at most round 2.
This video, we can also put in the NBA's most famous spectator for the season. Despite his Ben Simmons level of contribution to the Nets this season, Kyrie's stories have absolutely dominated the NBA media space this year, and some of his more questionable statements, which is most of them, have even earned him the attention of non-basketball fans. With that kind of media profile, it's almost incredible that many people don't know about his children.
I had no idea he had
Kyrie
children.
Has 2 kids with
I
2
had
different
no
women.
idea.
His now
I'm a Kyrie fan.
gave birth to his daughter, Azuri Elizabeth Irving, back in 2015. This makes Azuri old enough to understand her dad when he says the earth is flat. Azuri's middle name, Elizabeth, was the name of Kyrie's late mother, Elizabeth Irving. His current partner, Marlene Wilkinson, gave birth to their son, Kyrie's second child, in June of this year. While being more publicly announced than the birth of his first child, this information still managed to fly under the radar of most people. Jayson Tatum.
Jayson Tatum.
If you've been around any Celtics fans in the last couple of years, they've probably talked your ear off about how young and good Jayson Tatum is. Credit where it's due. He's just 23 with a couple of all-star appearances under his belt. You might be surprised to learn that Jayson is a dad, and you might be even more surprised to learn that his son is already
just
4
alike.
years old. Yeah, your math's good. Tatum became a dad of a baby boy named Jayson Tatum Jr. when he was
in
just
college.
19 years old. In fact, he became a dad just a few weeks after his first ever game in the NBA. The mother of his son, whom he affectionately refers to as Deuce, is his now ex-girlfriend Toria Lachelle. Tatum has fully dedicated himself to raising Deuce, and his parents sometimes help watch Deuce while dad's away doing NBA stuff. Since Deuce is now a bit older, you can sometimes see him watching his dad play from the front row, and you can even
That's a
see
unique
Jayson and
name,
Deuce sharing
Deuce.
some moments on the court before home games. LaMelo Ball.
Bro, I heard LaMelo Ball had like a 32-year-old girlfriend. Bro.
This one has us entering TMZ territory because it's a rumor based off of some Instagram stories, but it's in the spirit of the video, so we're going to include it. Unless you've been living under a rock for the past couple of years, you probably know.
I miss old LaMelo too. I remember like when he was around my age. He had his own shoe. He was shooting from half court, Chino Hills. I remember they had their own reality show. Life was so good back then. I wanted to be just like LaMelo Ball. I used to watch a LaMelo Ball Rolex remix. I used to shoot like him. I wanted to have the same haircut as him.
All about the Ball family. Even if you were living under a rock,
Life was
LeVar
great.
Ball would probably still find a way to let you know that his boys would be playing in the NBA. While scoring 15.7 points per game in his rookie year, LaMelo apparently had plenty of energy to score off the court as well, since there's a pretty long list of women he's been rumored to date. One of them is an Instagram model named Anna Montana. She's 12 years older than LaMelo.
That's what I'm saying.
When she started posting pictures with LaMelo, it got everyone believing that the two were dating. When she posted a story that said, "In love with the human I haven't met," NBA Twitter went ballistic because many fans immediately interpreted the story as her being pregnant with LaMelo's baby. Many of LaMelo fans were scared by the rumor because of what Hornets teammate PJ Washington recently went through with the mother of his baby. In short, he learned what happens when you think with the head below your waist instead of the one above. We don't know yet whether there's truth to the LaMelo rumors, but if there is, he won't be able to hide the truth for long.
I mean, when I heard that, it was like beginning mid-September when I heard that news.
Morant.
I knew John Morant had a
A
kid.
new challenger approaches for the title of NBA's youngest dad. Morant became a dad at the age of 19, and his daughter, Kyrie Jaden Morant, was born a couple of weeks before he ever stepped onto an NBA court. Just like Tatum, Morant is no longer with his baby mama. The two don't even follow each other on Instagram anymore. So you could say that the breakup is about as definitive as it gets, in Zoomer terms. Morant's play and impact on the Grizzlies shows a level of maturity far above his age. You can't help but think that the responsibilities of fatherhood have played a part in Morant's rapid development. Russell Westbrook. The triple-double man himself.
Wow.
With the amount of stories about his supposed stat padding, his responsibility for the
I'm surprised that was an accurate pass.
Or about how other NBA stars see him, you'd think there's no detail of Westbrook's life that the media hasn't gone over with a fine-tooth comb. While there have been plenty of basketball-related controversies surrounding Westbrook, his family life is pretty calm. He and his wife Nina have 3 children, twin daughters named Jordan and Sky, and a son named Noah. We all know how much energy Westbrook plays with, and he claims his son has his energy because he almost never takes naps. The similarities don't end there. Noah looks like a carbon copy of his dad, and that one picture even has him looking like he just dunked on 2 other babies. The apple sure didn't fall far from the tree in this case. Kawhi Leonard. The list of things we know about Kawhi Leonard's private life is about as long as the list of Toronto's playoff success.
All I know is that about his private life, well, not really like private now, but like his dad died at a car wash. So that's really all I know.
Before LeBron James left the Eastern Conference. Total privacy is pretty much what we've come to expect from the fun guy. Revelation number 1. Kawhi has a girlfriend named Kishley Shipley. Revelation number 2. He has 2 children with her, a girl named Kalia and a son. There's no name for the son because Kawhi has done a very good job of keeping that information secret. We just know that he was born in Canada. Little Kalia.
Bro, I don't know if I'm hearing storms outside or if I'm hearing war. But yeah, but how do we not know the boy name, but we know the girl's name?
Seems to share dad's calmness as she slept right through the Raptors' 2019 championship parade despite all the chaos around her. Knowing just how eager Kawhi is to talk to the media about his public life, that might be all we know about his kids for a very long time. Paul George. PG-13 story.
I used to really think Paul George was underrated. Now I think he gets the credit he deserves. Now, like for the past year, I've been saying DeMar DeRozan is underrated, which I still think, but like now he's getting more of the credit that he deserves. He finally got an All-Star appearance since I don't know how long. You know what I'm saying? He finally getting the credit he deserves. That's because he's on a winning team. When he was on the Spurs suck. I'm not even gonna lie, like the Spurs.
He has all the makings of a soap opera classic.
Suck.
He met his now wife Daniela in 2013 at a strip club she used to perform at. The two quickly got into an affair, which ended Paul's existing relationship with Doc Rivers' daughter once it got out. Daniela got pregnant, and that's where the plot thickens. George allegedly offered her $1 million to abort the child, but she refused the money.
Bro, what is wrong with you, bro? What is wrong with you? I mean, I'll take the $1 million, but still, what is wrong with you?
She filed a paternity suit where George was proven to be the father, and he responded by filing for full custody of their daughter Olivia. The pair reached a joint custody settlement.
Bro, if I was that baby, once I get like 13, 14 years old, well, probably older than that, because you're like 6'10", you pure muscle. So when I'm like 18 years old, we throwing hands, because you tried to abort me.
Daniela moved to New York and let George be closer to Olivia, and that was supposed to be the end of it. Except it wasn't. George and Daniela got back together and announced that they were expecting a second child. Their second daughter, Natasha, was born in 2017. The two were married earlier this year and seemed to be a happy family. With threes being all the rage in the modern NBA, PG and Daniela recently had a third child. This time, a son, named Paul Vuk
So tiny.
Honorable mention. Zion Williamson.
Zion Williamson has a
I can't
child.
blame you if this one caught you off guard. But no, Zion doesn't have a kid yet. So why is he even in this video? Well, it's because he already took part in what is arguably the cringiest thing expecting parents do. A gender
Do y'all hear that thunder?
reveal event. Back in his college days, one of Duke's staffers and his wife were expecting a baby, and they got Zion to help them with the gender reveal. Zion obliged and threw down a dunk that showered blue confetti on the court.
Oh.
You can judge for yourself whether getting a future NBA star to do your gender reveal makes it any less cringe. DeMarcus Cousins.
That's
The way he
Jadion's
played
favorite
back
player.
For a good part of his career, you'd think DeMarcus Cousins had the maturity of a child rather than actual children. Despite his dominance and obvious skill, he'd always
I think
find
he's
a
a
way to get
cancer.
himself ejected from the game, or at the very least,
Well, she
earn
acts like a
technical.
cancer.
A couple of devastating injuries has caused him to fade out of the spotlight, but everything we've heard from him in the last couple of years indicates that Cousins has significantly matured. The birth of his
Yeah,
two children,
sure.
Amir and Vanna, probably had something to do with that, as did him marrying his longtime girlfriend, Morgan Lang. He's still trying to work his way back into the NBA, so we'll have to be patient for a bit longer to see if the end.
Is it just me, or like does DeMarcus Cousins look like a well-behaved version of Kevin Gates? Just a little bit, just a small bit.
Is king of technicals has truly given up the throne. Joel Embiid. If Joel's sometimes childish,
You just say
demeanor
Joel?
has you wondering if he's a guy who's truly ready to
Kevin
have
Hart
kids,
is
you're
short.
probably the only one. JoJo was never above some immature behavior or petty trash talk, but the dude's an absolute beast on the court, so you gotta let some things slide. Immaturity is something Embiid will have to reserve for Instagram beefs going forward, since he's been a father for just over a year now. In
That's
September
nice.
of 2015, his girlfriend Anna DePaula gave birth to a baby boy they named, and get ready for this,
I thought the
Arthur
dog was the
Elijah
child.
DePaula Embiid.
Hold
The
on,
name
you said
Arthur,
what?
ready for this, Arthur Elijah DePaula Embiid. The name
That's
Arthur
nice.
is a nod to Embiid's late brother who died when he was just 13 years old, mere months after Joel was drafted to the NBA. That's it for our list. Which topic would you like?
Well, yep. Y'all go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. That would be nice. You know what I'm saying? But this is the end of the video. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Shizzle. And as always, kids, people in general, don't do drugs.